Motion to approve the consent agenda. Hassler?
Yes.
Isom?
Yes.
Sanchez?
Yes.
Tuttle?
Yes.
Bailey? Howard?
Yes.
Davis is yes. Secretary's report. Before the superintendent's agenda this evening, Doug would like to give a statement. Doug?
Thank you, Tom. This goes along with what we talked a little bit about or alluded to last month in regards to the superintendent search, and I also want to recognize and I'm grateful for the presence of Mr. Porter and Mr. Trogdon from the Unit 4 board. They've been wonderful to work with, continue to be, and I look forward to reading the statement and going forward with that. As you, and this isn't on the statement, but as you know, sometimes it's easier when we're dealing with a pretty broad topic, it's easier to draft it out and write it down, roll it through your head, and then say it out loud so that we stay on task and can be very clear as to what we mean. And I know Unit 4 has seen this in advance as well. After receiving the final and completed consolidation study in the last 60 days, and after careful review, it appears that the opportunity to consolidate both District 95 and Unit 4 schools may be a possibility. We feel it may be the most favorable time to take this long-needed action and not have any drastic effect on the finances of either district. This question requires considerable work by committees and board members with the desired result to be a vote for consolidation to be placed on an upcoming ballot, perhaps as early as February of 2014. We are also in the middle of a major building project, which also requires considerable time and effort on the parts of both superintendents and high school principal and staff. If a consolidation vote is taken and approved, all administrative contracts carry over to the new school district. This being the case, we do not feel at this time that it would make fiscal sense to continue a search process for a new superintendent. We do not want to offer and to be bound to a multi-year contract when the districts may merge. By continuing with our current consultant contract, we are not obligated to continue it upon consolidation and be in the absolute best position to maintain fiscal responsibility to the new district. This arrangement saves the district over $100,000 a year in salaries and benefits. We also do not feel we would have any serious interest for a superintendent's position once they know we are discussing consolidation and they may be phased out at the end of their contract. It makes much more sense to continue as we are, maintain the cost savings, and not enter into an expensive administrative contract only to possibly terminate it after a multi-year period. We could use internal staff for the position, but the same issue remains. We do not want to move up a current qualified internal staff member only to possibly have to move them back down after that. Those decisions will be up to the new consolidated school district board. If it is determined that a consolidation vote will not be taken, we will then resume our search as soon as possible. We are excited about this opportunity to be at the best possible position to consolidate both financially and as a community. It's been a long time coming, and we look forward to hopefully seeing it to fruition. So, thank you, and we'll have a copy of that for you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Doug. At this time, I would ask the board to approve an additional year's contract for Mrs. Sutton for the 2013-2014 school year.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? If not, Hassler?
Yes.
Isom?
Yes.
Sanchez?
Yes.
Tuttle?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Calvert?
Yes.
Davis is yes. Superintendent's agenda?
Keith and Paul, I don't know. You want to say anything? No.
Go ahead,
Just that.
go right ahead.
Well, I just knew that they were full aware of this and had seen the
Yeah,
statement. So we want to make
had a copy of
sure
this,
that
and we did look at
it
it.
shows that
Everyone's
everybody's
in agreement to it.
It's exciting. Looking forward to it.
And I just echo Doug, what he had to say, that's been so nice working with both of you and your board. We appreciate how far we've come in a pretty short period of time.
What's he sucking up for?
Well, it has been. It's a pretty exciting time, I think.
The next item on the first item on my agenda, I guess, would be the levy. We held the truth and taxation hearing at 5 o'clock. No questions were asked of the levy. We did not change it or amend it since we presented it last month, and the tentative levy was adopted. As I mentioned, it did lay for 30 days, and we did ask for a 9% increase, knowing that we will not get a 9% increase in EAV, but if we did, then we could capture our portion of that. That's the point of having the truth in taxation hearing. So at this time, I would ask the Board of Education to approve the levy for the 13-14 school year.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, Haslett?
Yes.
Isaac?
Yes.
Sanchez?
Yes.
Tuttle?
Yes.
Bailey? Calvin? Davis is yes.
Next, Carol is here this evening, and she was just going to give the board a brief update on curriculum and where we are with our Common Core standards and some of the things they've been working on in curriculum, which a lot going on there as well.
Well, I wanted to begin by just making you aware that we have 3 district-wide committees, and they are technology, professional development, and curriculum. And you are welcome to be on any of those committees if you would like to. I know you're always jumping on the opportunity to do that.
None of them are busy.
Yes, all right. But anyway, I did want to extend to you that invitation. So I just want to update you first on a little bit with what we're doing with the technology. We have, and really, our district can be very proud of technology. We have, in every classroom, there's an interactive whiteboard, and not that it's just there being used as a chalkboard. The teachers are actually have designed the lessons around it and have websites they use, and they are really using it wisely to maximize their benefit. We have, of course, computer labs at every single building now. We have mobile labs at every one of the buildings. We have digital cameras. We have flipboarders, camcorders. We have classrooms now that have 1 to 3 computers in them. And if all goes well, and our Title I grant is approved, then we hope to have the iPads, 2 sets, right, maybe 60 per building.
60 per building.
On a cart, so they can be used from, classroom to classroom. So when you think of all that we have available, I think we're very fortunate. So, of course, with any of the technology, then that leads to professional development. So I'll go to that next then. Well, maybe just before I get to that, the technology committee has met a couple times. We do have our technology plan that is due in February, and Mr. Larson has agreed to be sort of the chair and write the technology plan. So we are using the committee to get input from them to get our technology goals and plans ready for the submission of the technology plan for the district. Moving on then to professional development, we have used our teachers have been trained extensively in Smartboard, and it sure pays off because that's why you see all that going on in the classroom. And what we do in the fall is I pass out a survey, and then you sort of categorize the needs from the teachers, and usually you can group them into have commonalities. And so what came up this year is they wanted training in differentiated instruction, Common Core, and also technology. So those are the areas we're focusing on this year. And for example, the Fall Institute, we had Jim Burgett come and speak. He talked about how to incorporate technology into the classroom. We, last summer, had Amy Humphreys come present on differentiated instruction. And so that got the teachers thinking about that. And this year we have seen much more differentiated instruction going on in the classroom. Some of the teachers are reporting at staff meetings, sharing ideas. The 6th grade team especially has really taken off on this idea. And so if you're looking for a presentation, maybe at a future board meeting, I would suggest hearing from them on what they're doing with differentiated instruction. And then with the Common Core course, we are beginning the process of the alignment, which I'll get into in a second. But teachers are attending workshops on the Common Core. We're sending them to out-of-district workshops, as well as I'm planning on meeting with them second semester, especially at the elementary level, English language arts. That's what we're focusing on there. and also at Mayo between English language arts and math. And then moving on to our curriculum committee, before we get into the tool we're using to align the curriculum, I want to just update you a little bit on the advanced classes at Mayo. There was a concern by teachers to really put a little bit more rigor into the advanced classes, and they said in order to do that, they just wanted to be a little bit more selective on what students were there and ones that could really accept the challenge of an advanced curriculum. So this summer, I used a matrix, and we identified the top 10% of the students, and therefore those were the ones, which are usually a bigger class of about 100, so you have 10 to 11 students now in the advanced classes at Mayo. And now to ensure that, we have more advanced curriculum going on, Mr. Larson and myself have observed in all those advanced classes, and we have been very pleased with what we've seen. The teachers are either differentiating their curriculum for the advanced students by sometimes an entirely different curriculum. Sometimes it's a accelerated curriculum, in which, of course, they're covering more material by the end of the year. Or they're teaching the same concepts, but providing much more challenging activities for the students. So in every one of the classrooms, we saw that they were really trying to beef up that advanced curriculum and have it definitely be more challenging. And then, of course, the focal point, which you hear everywhere around the country, is Common Core. And so what we're doing to help align our curriculum with Common Core, we're curriculum mapping this year. And the tool we're using to do that is called Build Your Own Curriculum, and it's an online program. So instead of having the curriculum in a notebook and a binder that collects the dust, now we have it on an online computer program that anyone can access. Even you parents at home have a link that you can check the curriculum and see what we're doing there. So, for example,
All this great technology we have.
Right what I was going to get.
Unfortunately, not in this office.
What's that?
The blue screen of death means it's
Just the technical term, don't worry.
Keep talking, Carol.
Keep talking. Okay, what can I go?
What'd you say about that technology?
You're so fortunate.
We took one of the old computers from the school and put it in here, so give the kids the best.
That's true.
Well, that's good. It's got no idea. Well, I was just gonna say, as Sam was so thrilled about those water heaters, well, I always saw how they got, he gets excited over them. Same thing with this curriculum mapping. I get so excited over that, because I don't imagine it may really use that much. But one thing I want to say though too, I sure appreciate the principal's cooperation on serving on all the committees as well as the teachers. There's other things they could be doing after school, the teachers as well as the principals, but they know it's important, so they take the time to serve on every single one of the district-wide committees. And with the curriculum mapping that we're going to get into, definitely a special thank you to Jeremy, because he's been very valuable in teaching me the program and making suggestions on it. In fact, at Mayo, when you get online to check it, you're going to find that in a semester, they have much of their curriculum already lined up. So that is, I know.
Welcome.
I mean, for that amount of time to do curriculum mapping, that is unreal, really. But a lot of it was due to we broke it up into chunks. Jeremy entered many of the parts of the curriculum for the male staff. I did as well for the elementary, so that sped the process along, and that's why we are so far into it. And Jeremy, I wanted to ask you if you had anything you wanted to add on the advanced classes, since we've got a couple minutes here. Is there anything you wanted to
I wanted to
add
talk,
on that?
I wanted to talk about the curriculum mapping a little bit.
Okay.
I've had experience with that in my last district curriculum mapping. And the purpose of a curriculum app is very important, because basically what it does is I have like new teachers who came into my building this year. They walk into this position and they say, well, what should I teach? And, you know, it's difficult because you want something that you worked on, you have developed, and it's refined. And, you know, your school stands for reading and writing throughout the content areas. It stands for certain expectations. Having those curriculum maps, anyone can walk in and see what's going on, and then it's a constant reflective process. I know at Mayo, one of the things I always talk with my teachers, are we teaching the mastery or are we surveying? You know, if I'm surveying, I'm going through a whole lot of stuff, but I'm not teaching it to a depth that my kids understand it and can use it later on. And so that's one of the concepts that we talk about. And so we've had a really good experience with curriculum mapping. And I think the reason why it's been different in my last district, it was a very horrific experience, to be honest with you. And I think one of the reasons why it went so well is because my teachers were very cooperative. We did just little sections. It was just something very small as far as write your course description and turn it into me within the next 2 weeks. And every 2 weeks we did that. And Carol and I made a deal with all the teachers in the district. You know, turn it into me by this Wednesday, and I'll put it in your curriculum map for you. You don't turn it into me by this Wednesday, you have to put it in yourself. And so Carol and I spent a lot of time on the weekends entering in all the curriculum together. They wrote it, but we just entered it. And it has that little bit of feeling, because I have some teachers who would rather just email it to you or handwrite it or however they want to deliver it to you. That's a pain when you have to log in, learn a new software program. And by the time that we had everything entered in, they were able to go in, enter it in. And I mean, for us to be able to map our curriculum within 4 months, I think is spectacular. And so I'm personally very proud of that. And Carol spent a lot of Saturdays with me in the Mayo Library Lab working on it, and our teachers did an excellent job. So.
And one of the things, as Jeremy mentioned, that we hope to come out of this, besides, you know, aligning to the Common Core and new teachers, of course, that have a guideline to go by and say, okay, this is what I need to teach at this grade level. But also, we hope that it develops some consistency, especially in the elementary grades, because they'll be working together on this, entering it. So, you know, in the K-5 curriculum, that they'll be teaching, of course, to the same standards and have common activities that they'll be doing in every single classroom. And of course, that's a little bit different than at Mayo, because you just have one teacher responsible for teaching, for example, the 6th grade math or the 7th grade English.
Carol, can I ask you a question?
Sure, yeah.
I know one of the issues that we've had historically, I think, has been the mapping between junior high and high school. Is this something that can be used so that they're prepped both ways? I mean, they know what's coming and we know what we're sending.
Right. They certainly will have access to this too, and they can check out the 8th grade, curriculum maps. And also, they have, we did have a meeting between the high school and the 8th grade teachers already this year, and the 5th grade teachers and the 6th grade teachers.
We had it after, we scheduled a meeting after first quarter, kind of, instead of rewinding at the end of the year. I thought it was nice for when you have parent-teacher conferences, all the kids come in, all the parents come in, and you have those conversations. So let's debrief right after and say, what were the major academic and social struggles right after that first 9 weeks, and then what can we plan differently going on to the rest of the year and for next year. And so we had a meeting getting together and having those conversations.
Thank you.
This is a screen that comes out that the teachers will look at as they enter their curriculum, and I'm just going to go to 6th grade math. And what you see there is course description, and that's been entered in. Now to get over here. There we go. We have the vision statement. You can see materials and resources, where they're going to integrate the technology in their unit, and then even at the bottom, the cross-curricular, where they can incorporate that into and bring in other subject areas into their own content area. So I'm going to back up here to the units. And since this is math and it's Saxon math, it just makes sense to do it by lessons. So I'm going to click on lessons 1 through 25. And what you have here is we use those for the topics. And then if you click on, I'm going to use lesson 3. What you see there is John Bolthouse has entered this, and he has a few topic notes he's taken. But as I scroll down here, what you have there are the targets. Back up here. That these are the Common Core standards that he has matched up to lesson 3. And lesson 3 was on, let's see, it says unknown numbers in addition, unknown numbers in subtraction. Right. So he has matched up these, and you can see, and that's how the Common Core standards are designed. That stands for math, grade 6, and EE stands for expressions and equations. And then you can see that's one standard he has matched right in evaluating numerical expressions involving whole number exponents. And not only does he cover that, but all these other ones as well in this lesson you'll be doing. So that is where we get into the Common Core alignment, into the curriculum mapping. So teachers are doing that, assigning those learning targets, which are the Common Core standards for each one of their topics. And that's what so the teacher sees that, and then if I back up here, I wanted to show you just one more thing. I'll back again. And right there, Jeremy, isn't that right? Where learning targets will tell what we cover and what we haven't. Or do I have to go back one more?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I tell you, when you spend this much time with it, you guys know the program. Okay, so what the teacher tells you right there is, you see where it says not used by a topic? That means that's a standard they haven't assigned yet to a topic. Now, he hasn't completely curriculum mapped his entire year yet, so hopefully that will be a topic, a standard that he will be attaching to the topic. But that just lets the teacher know what standards are yet to be covered. So that's what we were using. I tell you, we've come a long way from those old curriculum maps in the notebook that collected dust on the shelf. Right, right. So that's it in a nutshell. And like I said, we're going to be, we have an in-service day in December, and we're going to continue working on that. And hopefully by the end of the year, for the elementary level 2, we'll have all the English language arts curriculum mapped as well. Do you have any questions? Okay, hopefully kept it brief enough.
Technical difficulty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is a resignation. You have in your packet a resignation we received from Tara Ogle. She's resigned her position as social worker that was effective November 23rd. We have posted for that position. We have several applicants for it, and we hopefully will have somebody. We may even, if we can find someone, have a special board meeting tomorrow. Okay. I would ask that the Board of Education accept this resignation.
Any discussion? If not, Hassler?
Yes.
Isaac?
Yes.
Sanchez?
Yes.
Tuttle?
Yes.
Bailey? Calvert?
Yes.
Davis is yes.
Okay, we had a facility request. Erica Hollis from the dance team coach requested to use the Willis Center gym to host the Bitty Girl Dance Clinic on December 15th. I'd ask the board to approve this and waive any fees attached.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, Hassler?
Yes.
Isaac?
Yes.
Sanchez?
Yes.
Tuttle?
Yes.
Bailey? Calvert? Davis is yes.
Okay, we also have Sam's here as well as Jerry. The memorial, put down a memorial playground project request. The PFO at Memorial has been working with the teachers there, and they would like to build a walking track around the playground area, because when it's extremely wet and the snow's on the ground, it's very difficult for the kids to get outdoors, and they think it's, it is important for them to be able to use the playground. The PFO is willing to put in $5,000 on this project. It'll probably cost us around 8 to 9 total. So we felt like it would be good to bring this to the board now, since the weather is so nice, they could actually possibly get started on that and have this completed before the first snow falls. So if you've got questions, the PFO's going to put in $2,500 this year, and they would obligate $2,500 and they would pay it out of next year's funds. They said they would actually give us all of that this year if we needed it, but I felt like that they had other things they'd like to spend some of their other money on for this year. And if you have questions, I would ask that the board approve the walking track project at Memorial's Playground. But if you have questions first before you want to take a vote, Jerry and Sam are both here to discuss it with you.
To be concrete,
Yes,
and how wide, et cetera.
4 foot wide, it'll be level with the ground, so there'll be no chance of any student running across there falling, hitting their head on the corner, so it'll be flush with the ground, sir. And right there's a drawing, excuse me, I'll show you, right there's a drawing of the shows this. See that right here?
Just the entire perimeter.
Yeah, I'm inside the trees will be still. I'm trying to.
Do we have a motion to approve that project?
So,
Any discussion? If not, Hessler,
Yes.
Isaac, Sanchez,
Yes.
Tuttle,
yes,
Bailey, Calvert,
Yes.
Davis is yes.
With the building project is moving fast and furiously, and as you all know, you get information all the time. I'm receiving information daily. We did get the easement rights today, when I may have already told you. Yeah, so for the, yes, that did come today. We've been waiting on the farm, or the ground owner there to give us that, so we did get that, so they can move along with that as well. Our next OACM meeting will be the 10th at 1:30, and usually they just keep us just updated on what's going on, and if there's been any delays in anything in the rock that they put down for the lots, and you get summaries of those as well. But as you can see, things are moving along up there. They've gotten really a little bit further than they thought they would even get because of the weather this year out at the project as well. That's the end of the superintendent's.
And we do have a meeting Wednesday, don't we? Crestwood.
Oh, yes, and did we post it? Oh, okay. We have a workshop on, now we gotta get that posted, Wednesday afternoon at Crestwood, board workshop, joint workshop to talk with the construction people about some different options that we may have in building design. Let's post that right now. 5 o'clock? 5 o'clock?
Any committee reports this evening?
Posted, it's posted.
Public hearings and petitions, unfinished business, matters for follow-up, new business, right to revert to prior order of business. We have motion for adjournment.
I'll move. Second.
Hassler?
Yes.
Isaac?
Yes.
Sanchez?
Yes.
Tuttle?
yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Calvert?
Yes.
Davis is yes, meeting's adjourned.